And tonight we begin with new details about the couple facing multiple felony charges after two children escaped a hoarding home, were found roaming the streets of Milwaukee, filthy and naked.
34-year-old Katie Koch and her boyfriend, 38-year-old Joel Mankey, are accused of chronic neglect of a child and false imprisonment. Investigators say two children under the age of 10 broke a window to escape their home on Milwaukee's west side.
Now, TMJ4 News found that their mother, Koch, was previously convicted of robbing a Cudahy gas station. And since 2011, Koch's other run-ins with the law involved theft, drugs, and a hit and run. TMJ4 spoke with Eric Strasser on the phone, and he is the father of one of Koch's sons who is not involved in this case. Strasser says the siblings have not had much contact either.
We don't know what to tell them because we never knew where they were. Or what was going on. So it was just sadness for them. It was frustration.
Now, police say that they spoke with Koch's boyfriend, Mankey. He told police that the kids had not been at a medical provider or school during the entire 3.5 years that they were inside the home. Both Koch and Mankey are due back in court next week.
So it begs the question, how did this all happen?
There are systems in place in the state of Wisconsin to prevent child abuse, but as our I-Team reporter Sean Gallagher shows us, it's not without its flaws.
News about child abuse under this roof shook this neighborhood near 71st and Dixon. The most startling thing to Rick Eder was seeing kids in the first place.
We'd never seen any kids there. Like I said, we've been in the neighborhood for about 30 years.
The criminal complaint says Katie Koch was in the house for at least 3.5 years with her two kids, but neighbors say they never saw them.
I was really shocked that there were two kids living in that house.
If the child isn't exposed to the village, well, what good is it?
Dr. Sandeep Nurang is a child abuse pediatrician at Children's Wisconsin. He says there are systems in place in the state of Wisconsin to help kids, including some 36 mandatory reporters, like doctors, teachers, and child care workers, all of which did not have a chance in this case, because according to the complaint, Koch kept the kids isolated inside a room filled with feces and urine. What can be done if the kids aren't having these touch points with mandatory reporters or the community at large?
At any point, the kid, if the child does come to light, obviously report to child welfare agency should be made.
Close to 1 million kids in Wisconsin interact with teachers in public and private schools, but there are nearly 30,000 who are homeschooled. According to the criminal complaint, despite Koch telling police her kids were homeschooled, her 9-year-old couldn't write and the 7-year-old couldn't put sentences together. The I-Team was not able to confirm the children's homeschool status with the state.
Isolation is the single greatest risk factor when it comes to any kind of abuse, including child abuse. And the way homeschooling is legally set up, it legally allows parents to completely isolate a child that they may be abusing.
Samantha Field at the Coalition for Responsible Home Education pushes for better regulation for homeschooling. The Department of Public Instruction declined an interview for this story, but says parents have to fill out an online form every year telling the state their child will be homeschooled. The form essentially declares the parent will maintain a proper learning environment, but according to the state, there is no mechanism or express authority in law for the DPI or a local school district to monitor the progress of a homeschooled student.
Once a parent has filled out the piece of paperwork, there is nothing more that anyone can do.
Samantha points to states like New York and Pennsylvania that have better laws in place that could have prevented this from going unnoticed for so long. She now hopes states like Wisconsin will take note and change its policies. Reporting for the I-Team, I'm Sean Gallagher.